SIG-23 for December 2020. This is number 2. Let me adjust this slightly. There we go. This is a commentary that I'm going to read by Molly McCann. She's of the Council of Sidney Powell PC, defending Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. She writes about politics and law at mollymccann.com. This is her commentary. In October, United Airlines tested, quote, the first transatlantic trial of Common Pass, an app that creates a standard digital format for COVID-19 test results. The app has been developed by the Commons Project and the World Economic Forum. And the hope is that it will both facilitate travel across borders and provide confidence to passengers that it's safe to fly again. God forbid we actually have, regular flu. The pass right now reports on a traveler's COVID test status, but it could easily transition to track vaccination status. And indeed, the industry expects it to do just that. The acceptance of these types of apps as a condition to travel is a very slippery slope, and they shouldn't be permitted for domestic flights. Both the origin and the function of this app are concerning. First, Common Pass has a worrisome developer. It has been created in partnership with the World Economic Forum of annual Davos Summit fame, a group comprising the world's mega wealthy, most of whom are committed climate change activists and confirmed globalists. Historically, Americans are very independent people. We are suspicious of databasing and have rightly resisted gun registries and federal programs that would give our government centralized data on our lives, health, and habits. Americans are also unusually mobile compared to the rest of the world, another hallmark of our unique freedom. For decades now, liberal elites have tried to limit American mobility by taxing cars and gas and encouraging people to embrace more urban living arrangements. Yeah, it was part of Agenda 21. I remember reading that. And the Wildlands Project. Look those things up. Wildlands Project, Agenda 21. I know. It actually got pushed to Agenda 2030. And I think we're heading more and more in that direction. The sheer expanse of the United States, with sprawling suburbia and dotted with small towns where people live their lives away from the influence of liberal bastions and where they have better control over the local institutions and schools, helps keep America free. In other words, not brain damaged. In a scene from The Hunt for Red October, a scene in the film The Hunt for the Red October sums up the ethos of this American freedom as well when the Soviet submarine captain dreams of life in America. And I have never forgotten this. This has stuck with me from the first time I saw this movie. The quote is, I will live in Montana and I will have a pickup truck or possibly a recreational vehicle and drive from state to state. Do they let you do that? No papers? No papers, state to state. It's fascinating, the main character of that, besides Sean Connery, is Alec Baldwin. That must have just grated on him to say, to say those things, to to be there, supposedly supporting the United States because he's nothing but a freaking communist. Sometimes we take these attributes for granted, but globalists are always looking for ways to tell their people what to do, centralize power, and frankly erode American independence. Our base of movement and our disconnect from centralized databasing make it harder to control the American public. The likelihood that COVID-19 would be used as an excuse to implement and fast-track new technologies that would finally get a better handle on Americans and our mobility was clear from the start. Garcetti's order not to walk, drive, take a scooter or a motorcycle, bicycle, really? While some people see this app as a useful tracking device, airlines see the app as a lifeline that will save their business. The airlines will almost certainly try to transition this app from tracking your test results to tracking whether you've been vaccinated. In September, Southwest Airlines CEO Gary Kelly was interviewed by the Dallas Morning News. He confirmed that the effect of the pandemic on the airline industry is crushing and unsustainable. According to Kelly, Southwest thought in the spring that fall travel would be down 30%, which was itself a devastating prospect, but the reality is worse than anyone predicted. Travel was down 65% this fall. Because Southwest isn't filling middle seats yet, every flight is operating at a loss. Kelly has asked how long Southwest could continue to do that, and he admitted the company can't do it indefinitely. He said, in the end, it's about what customers are comfortable with. I'm not really prepared to say when we might change, but at some point, yes, absolutely, we're going to have to get our business back. It's just going to have to be it's just going to have to be at the right time. Kelly returned to one point several times during the interview, the necessity of vaccines to get back to normal. Kelly said, I believe we're going to have to muddle through this until we get a vaccine, until we functionally reach herd immunity. And when discussing the current decline of travel, he said, what I would predict now is that I don't see that change significantly from here until we get a vaccine. In short, the multi-billion-dollar airline industry that is currently on life support, barely sustained by the billions in federal aid it has already received from the government, the billions in federal aid. What do the people got? Believes that only a vaccine can provide enough public confidence to get people back in the air and get the airlines back in the black. You better believe the airlines will be pushing for a mandate and as a way to reassure the public that other passengers have been vaccinated too. Remember that Southwest was one of the earliest airlines to remove any exemption to its mask mandate, no matter your disability. If you don't mask, you don't fly. The airline no longer cleans the planes between every flight as they did at the start of the pandemic, but it has ejected passengers before takeoff and permanently banned people unwilling to mask. You think this is going to fit into the social credit program somewhere down the future? Maybe, just maybe. Southwest and other airlines are laser focused on creating COVID-19 theater, visible rules and procedures to make people feel safe, because it's all about your feelings. A high-tech app that verifies vaccination status before boarding is the ultimate COVID-19 theater to get business back. The left stoked at the paranoia surrounding COVID-19 to the point that a large segment of society is afraid to leave their homes. Now to get business up and booming, airlines need a vaccine and a way to assure all the occupants of a flight that everyone is indeed vaccinated. One world elitists want to better track and control their populations, which up to now has been a difficult road to hoe in the United States. The liberals have their way because they're all liberals. I don't care if they're leftists, progressives, Democrats, they're all liberals. And all the liberals are Marxists. Some may be less than others, but look at their policies. Look at the things they actually support. You can have hard Marxism like the left, like Antifa, like Bernie Sanders, AOC, that ilk. Or you can have the softer, more moderate Marxism of, your everyday Democrats. None of this is to suggest that the airlines are working in concert with power-hungry elites. This could be the confidence of wholly independent interests focused on the same goal. But Americans shouldn't have to show papers or proof of vaccine to travel in America. And the leftist globalists can and will maximize the benefits of tracking, something they couldn't have achieved without the chaos of COVID-19 and the airline industry's considerable influence. American liberty is unique, not just in history, but in our modern world. Uniquely American attributes we might not even think about are often the silent and invisible bulwarks that defend us from oppression and are trying to defend us from the oppression that's coming from within our own country, from our own citizens. Even the left, liberals, have been trying to destroy this country for decades. The COVID-19 death rates have shown that COVID-19 is an ugly and unpredictable illness, but it isn't the global killer we were misled to believe. We should be most worried now about the ways that our enemies will manipulate the ongoing paranoia to accelerate initiatives they've long pursued without success. If we aren't wary, COVID-19's ultimate victims will be could be more of our liberties and the American way of life. Molly McCann. SIG 23 out.